Torgny, we're sitting here due to the fact that a colleague of ours, Lieutenant Colonel Ray Steadman-Allen, has passed away. And we have plans here at Stockholm South and with the Stockholm South Band to celebrate that. That is, to celebrate him and his work as a composer. You and I and the viewers are aware of Ray Steadman as a monumental brass band composer figure, and some of us would say that he's the greatest of them all. Now, what would you like to say about Ray Steadman?
I think for my generation of musicians in the Salvation Army, he became a sort of a hero, a sort of a nearly a monument of a composer of Salvation Army music. And the music which came out in the mid-50s and the beginning of 60s became so popular and meant so much for us in our own development as musicians, but also for bands. And it was a sort of a new way of Salvation Army music, which meant a lot. And I think that's sort of a signum of what he meant then, and he continued to mean that all the time when he was a productive composer for the Salvation Army.
We have both met him a couple of times, and certainly you have. So what are you, or were your impressions of him, not as a composer, but as a person? What did he sort of convey to you? What lasts with you from your meetings with him as a person?
I had the privilege to meet him several times, and the first time was in the mid-60s, and I was quite young, and then I met him a few times during his life in Sweden and in Britain, and it was always fascinating because it was such a colorful personality, which when you spoke to him and when you met him, you found a very sharp intellect. He was really thinking what to say, and he really listened to you when you talked to him. He was interested to know your opinions, and that is a sign, I think, of a sort of, he was humble, but he was also very aware of his unique capacity as a composer and as an artist. So this difference, these two differences of a very humble, a very personal person, and also a great artist, a great mind, that's the impression I go on with, I carry on with, you see. And there was a lot of humor,
yes,
as well as he could be very serious, very much about his officership as an evangelist, as a servant of the meaning of the Salvation Army, not only the music but the aiming for the Salvation Army. That was very evident all the time. So all those impressions you got from him as a person meant a lot for me personally, and I'm sure for many other musicians, bandsmen and bandmasters in the Salvation Army.
Well, the band is of course now preparing for this event on the 15th of February, and you are, needless to say, the key figure, key person in that preparation. I'm thinking about the repertoire. I mean, there is a lot of pieces to choose between. I think we have about 200 publications, some very simple, some intellectually sophisticated, some pieces for bands, for soloists and for the entire band. What have you been thinking as you have prepared for the repertoire? What will be played on the 15th?
I must admit that I heard about the passing of him. I was immediately thinking of we have to play a lot of his music this coming year. He had special links to Sweden, also to our band, and he wrote, in fact, a march for this band, which we are going to perform. It's called The Son of the Regiment. It was composed for the retirement of General Erik Wickberg, who was a honorable bandsman of his band. But anyway, when I was thinking about that, I have this marvelous list of music from him. And as you say, he wrote great music for unity series, for small ensembles. And he wrote big pieces of high artistic level. And all between that, there was all kind of music in different genres. It could be humorous, it could be serious, it could be reflecting, it could be just sort of a showpiece. And so there is so much to choose from. And I started immediately to think about this. What can we play? And then when you're going to make the decisions of those things, when you have a band, it's an amateur band. Salvation Army band is an amateur band. You have to count how many rehearsals do we have. What is the ability of the band? What is the level of the band? How fast can we prepare for this? And we wanted to do this quite quickly, but not wait too much. So I thought like this: okay, let's start with a tribute, as we call it, for him, and playing music which I can be quite sure about is effective, and we can do it in a reasonably good way. And then also in a longer perspective has his music of Ray Steadman-Allen all the year, for all festivals and concerts we are doing. So then we can go through the whole list of compositions from him during the year, and maybe at the end of the year we could play something of the latest. So for this special event there will be classics which were composed in the 50s and the early 60s. And that was those years when my generation, your generation, we all experienced the unique what do you say, face, or the unique mind of this great composer.
So we will be playing Quiet Pastures.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I think that the selection in Quiet Pastures is maybe the most performed Salvation Army piece of any. That or The Light of the World by Dean Goffin, which are published in the same score. It's strange, isn't it? That we will play that, of course, and that has a Swedish tune
as well.
Yeah. Which I think he heard it when the Traumas band was in Sweden, in England, 1947. They brought a singer, Mr. Gustav Kolm, who sang that song, and I think that how that song was introduced to Britain, and Ray heard it. And other people
and included it in this particular piece.
The big piece will be Lord of the Sea, which is a sort of a milestone in the Salvation Army repertoire. and we will do the fine euphonium solo, the Ransomed host.
Right.
And a special favorite of myself, a march, Exultation, which he wrote for Triumph series, smaller bands, and it's so full of special things. It's so characteristic of a young Ray Steadman-Allen. So I want to play that. And a few more pieces, of course.
And a few more pieces.
And later during the year we will do the Holy War, and already in April we'll do the Holy War, and then maybe in the autumn, in the fall, we will play Daystar or The Edge of Time, maybe. We plan for that.
Interesting year.
Yeah.
But right now,
yeah,
we are focusing on the 15th of February.
Yeah.
So why don't we invite people to come to Stockholm South that particular Sunday afternoon.
Everybody is welcome,
Thank
of course.
you.